Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video we're going to work on a SAM Word project together. So students in the CIS 120 class, they just completed assignment 3, which was a Word project, and there's actually 3 of them, parts 1, 2, and 3, and quite a few people did fantastic, quite a few people struggled with some of them. So I think what I want to do here is work on an assignment 4 Word project, which is coming up. So that way students kind of can get a little insight into that future assignment. They should be a little bit more challenging. I'm going to just pick on one of them here. I'm going to pick on part 2. I'm not sure if I've ever done this one before. We'll find out soon enough when I get to see it. But I'm in the activity list. I'm going to go to assignment 4, Word project part 2. Click on that. And yep, got some directions here. Okay, you're allowed to do this 3 times. You can look at the reports after you do it to kind of see what went wrong, if anything went wrong. I'm going to go ahead and start it up. Like most projects, it's going to give us a download for some instructions and a starting file. Sometimes you also get another file like an image or some other kind of supporting stuff, but apparently not with this one. There's a download all option, which I've never really used, but I'm going to download them individually. So I'm going to get the instructions, and I'll just save them to my desktop. That is fine. And then I'll just click down here. I'm using the Brave browser today, and open that up. Cool. And I'm just going to, these are the directions. I'm just going to hit Enable Editing, and I'll temporarily just move those off to the side. And I'm going to get my starting file, and I will save that to the desktop. Open it up. It opened up over here on my other monitor. There it is. I'm going to hit Enable Editing. And I do want to work on this one. So let's see. Let me go ahead and lock this one into place right there. I'm going to take the directions file and I'm going to attach those over there. I know it's pretty tiny, but let me just zoom out. So it'll just give me some kind of note to read. And I know with these projects, the very first thing I need to do is File, Save As. I'm going to save it where I can easily find it. So let me do a browse. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and that's where everything is. And I'm going to change that little 1 in the file name to a number 2. And that is the only change I'm making to the file name. Not changing the extension, not changing any of the lettering. I'm not taking my name out. Your name will be in the file name on there. We just change the 1 to a 2. And then save, and that is on my desktop. I like working on the desktop for things that are in progress, and then later on I can either delete them or move them to some other folder if I want to save them longer. Okay, so we have this document over here, and I'm sure the instructions are going to have us go through and start to make changes. So even though my directions over here are pretty tiny and tough for you to read, let's see what we've got in here. So the getting started is basically explaining renaming that file from a 1 to a 2. Done that. Excellent. So now I'm going to be looking at the project steps. And let me just move these a little bit so I can see them a little bit more easily. So I'm looking at the step 1, and it basically describes you're writing a research paper for your media and communications course. The paper summarizes trends in streaming video services and must be written in the MLA style. Change the citations and bibliography style of the document to MLA. So the first step is basically change the citations and bibliography style of the document to MLA. So I go to I believe that's under the references ribbon, and there's a oh no, here we go, styles. It's currently APA, and I'm supposed to change it to MLA. There it is, MLA 7th edition. I'm not a writing instructor, so I don't know how accurate these citation features are in Word. I think they're pretty good, but they may not be great. So I would double check with your writing professor or do some research online to make sure that these formats, these styles for academic papers match with what is currently accepted and required. Okay, so that takes care of step number 1. Step number 2 is modify the first body paragraph starting with the rising popularity. So here it is right here. Here's that paragraph. If I triple click, I can select that paragraph. Modify the first paragraph by changing its font to Times New Roman. the font size to 12, and the line spacing to double with no blank space after the paragraphs. Okay, so there's several things I'm doing here. Let's see. Change the font to Times New Roman. So I have the paragraph selected, although technically I don't think I need to do that, but I'll do it anyway. I'm going to go to my home ribbon. I'm going to change the font to Times New Roman. Is it on my short list here? Nope. So let me just start to type out Times New Roman. That's going to find it for me. All right, done and done. And then font size to 12, line spacing to double. So I'm just going to select 12. And I want to change the line spacing to double. There's an option for that right in here. There's double line spacing. It's weird we're just doing this to the first body paragraph, but I think I'm reading that right. Yep, I am. Okay, and then I'm also supposed to make sure there's no blank space after the paragraphs. So there's a couple ways we can do that, but I'm going to jump over to the layout ribbon, and here's the spacing after the paragraph. It's currently at 8 points. I'm going to hit the down arrow and then make it 0 points. So I think we've got step 2 done. Step number 3, update the normal style to reflect the changes made to the first body paragraph. Ah, there we go. So now on the home ribbon, there's a normal style, which is basically controlling that standard look for the text. So I thought it was kind of weird that we were making these changes just to this one paragraph. So now I can right click on the normal style, and here we go. There's an option to update the normal style to match selection. I bet that is going to impact all of the text going forward. So let me click that. And there we go. So the only thing, okay, yeah, for a second there I thought everything was centered, but it was just because I was hovered over something like that section title. So now if I just click anywhere to deselect, we can see that this is starting to look more like that MLA style, Times New Roman, 12-point font, everything's double spaced. Cool. So that was step number 3. Nope, that was step, yeah. And then step 4, apply the updated normal style to the first 4 paragraphs in the document from Nina Sanchez to 20 February 21. Perfect. So I'm going to select these paragraphs. Those are paragraphs, by the way, and I'll change that normal style. There we go. Okay, we're already on step number 5 down here in the directions. Insert a right-aligned header with Sanchez as the header. Okay, so I need to get into the header footer area. A couple ways I can do that. What I typically do in my Word document is I just put my cursor, my pointer right up there in that header section and double click. That activates the header area and it kind of deactivates the main body of the document. So I'm in the header and I need to do a right aligned header. So I can go to my home ribbon, change this to a right aligned paragraph, or I could have pressed Control R, by the way. And I'm supposed to write Sanchez. There we go. As the header text, followed by a plain page number, and then close the header and footer. Okay, so I'm going to do a space. And then I'm going to go to, where do I want to go? I'm going to go to the header and footer ribbon. There's a page number option, and top of, no, I want to do current position, plain number. That's it. Yeah, there's a bunch of styles for headers and footers and page numbers and content and stuff like that, but I'm just going to do a plain number right there. Okay, I'm looking at the directions. There's also a Mac hint, insert a top of page header or page number with right alignment. So if you're using a Mac, make a note that they've got some slightly different directions, or at least guides for the Mac users. All right, I think that's it. All right, I think I can be done with this. So I can click this button right here to close my header and footer, or I can just double click in the main body of the paragraph or the page, and that gets me out of the header footer area and into the main document. Step 6, create a first line indent of 1/2 inch for all the body paragraphs, beginning with the rising popularity, ending with keep cutting cord. So let's see. Now I'm going to double click in the left margin, but I'm going to hold on my second click. So now when I drag down, it's going to select paragraph by paragraph, and I'm going all the way to keep cutting the cord. It's probably near the bottom, I imagine. Oh, here it is right here. Keep cutting the cord. All right. Notice I'm not selecting that works cited paragraph, and I didn't select the streaming video changes in the media market paragraph. I'm only getting the body paragraphs. And I need to put in a first line indent of 1/2 inch. So I can use my ruler here, which I already have displayed. I'll put my pointer on that top part of that ruler, the first line indent, drag it into the 1/2 inch mark. That indents all of those selected paragraphs. Good, now I'm on step 7. On page 2, before the period in the sentence, in addition, technology. Okay, not noticing it right away, so let's make sure I'm reading carefully. On page 2, before the period in the sentence, in addition, technology companies, competition for entertainment dollars. Okay, so let's see if that helps me find it. Here we go, competition for entertainment dollars. So I'm going to put my insertion point just between the S and the period, before the period. Okay. Insert a citation to a new source using the information shown in the figure below. Okay, so I've got my insertion point in the right spot. I'm going to head over to References, and it wants me to insert a citation. And let me just, before I click, insert a citation to a new source. Okay, there it is, add new source. And I'm supposed to fill this out using information in the figure. So I'm looking at the directions, and I guess I should, oh, and I can't scroll down on the directions yet. Okay, so let me cancel this. Let me scroll down a little bit to where those directions are. There it is. Okay, so let's go back to what I was doing. Insert citation, add new source, and let's see. It starts off with type of source is a website. There it is, website. Got that. Author. The directions are so tiny I can hardly read them, but I'm going to give it a shot here. Let's see. Hart, Dan Hart. Okay. Okay, nothing is checked there. The name of the web page is Tech Goes Hollywood. Now, the way these SAM projects work, if you mistype something, if you make a spelling error, it's a good chance it's going to tell you that that step is wrong. So we'll see what happens when I'm done and I go in to grade this. And let's see. The year is 2020. The month is July. The day is 9. Year accessed is 2021. Month accessed is January. Day accessed is 30. Medium is website, no space. And I think that is it. Now on the directions, they blur out this little information here, so I can't see it, but I don't think I'm supposed to mess with that. So I'm just going to click OK. And notice it put in some parenthetical citation for that resource, for that author, Hart. Great. I think that takes care of step number 7. Oh, it tells me the tag name is intentionally blurred because it is generated automatically. So they didn't want me to get confused by it, it looks like. Alrighty. Step 8. Insert a citation to the existing Pew Research Center source before the period at the end of the sentence. A common complaint from customers. It ends with many of them unwanted. Okay. I don't see it there. Oh, wait. Oh, that's unwanted, but that's not the right one. End of the sentence, a common complaint from customers. Now, if like me, you're having trouble finding some of these sentences, we could do a little Control F, and I think I could probably type it in here. So I could do a search for many of them unwanted. Do a search, and I just typed in that text and press enter, and it found that sentence for me. All right, so let's see. Insert a citation before the period, so to the left of the period. And I'm inserting a citation to the existing Pew Research Center source. Let me go ahead and close that navigation. Insert a citation, and there is the Pew Research Center right there. Click. It puts in some parenthetical citation. Nice. Step 9. In the same paragraph before the period at the end of the sentence, furthermore, customers feel the subscription amount. Okay. There it is, subscription amount before the period, so to the left of the period. Insert a citation to a new source using the information shown in figure 2. Alrighty, so I need to get that figure information there. Insert citation, add a new source, and then again, this time it's an article in a periodical. Got it. Author is going to be Park J, I believe. Okay, I don't check anything there. And I've got office hours starting up. Okay. Title, The Media Divide. Periodical title, News in Tech, year 2020, month December, day 4, pages 12, medium print. Don't worry about anything else. Click OK. Cool. It put in that parenthetical citation. Looks good to me. Step 10. Let's see. Where are we at here? Insert a manual page break so that the words works cited. Okay, so manual page break is actually very easy. I put my insertion point right in front of that paragraph, works cited, right in front of the words, and I can just press Control Enter on my keyboard. That puts in a page break right there. Control Enter is a page break. Shift Enter, by the way, is a line break. All right. Begins on a new page. In the blank paragraph at the end of the document, easy way to find that is, what is that? I think it's Control Down arrow. Oh no, Control Page Down. No, not that one. Just Page Down by itself. Page Down by itself worked, and it puts my insertion point right there, or I could have just clicked there, of course. Okay, in the blank paragraph at the end of the document, that's where I'm at, use the Insert Bibliography command to insert a list of sources without a built-in header. So I go to Bibliography, and then we have different ones, but they want me to do using the built-in in the end of the use the Insert Bibliography command to insert a list of sources. Well, I'm assuming that's going to be a works cited. Kind of curious what this Insert Bibliography is going to do. Oh, there we go right there. I think that's going to be it. And I didn't choose a title because I already had a title on there. So I think that's going to be accurate. So basically we're using our Word document as kind of like a database to keep track of all of those sources so that when we do need to reference them, either in a works cited or in parenthetical citations, it seems to be relatively automatic. Seems pretty neat. I never used that when I was in school. I'm not even sure. I don't think this was a feature back then. I'm sure when it came into being though. All right, I think. Got it. Okay. Use the Insert Bibliography command to insert a list of resources without a built-in header. Got it. All right. And then edit the Elwood source to enter Alicia as the author's first name. So I need to edit a source. So let's see. I'm going to go to Manage Sources up here in References. All right. Which one am I supposed to do? Edit the Elwood source. Okay, oh, here we go. What do we have on the right? There's Elwood. I'm going to select it. There's an edit option. Oh, here we go. Okay, edit the Elwood source to enter Alicia as the author's first name. So instead of Amy, it is Alicia, spelled properly. And I'm just going to click OK. It just says fix the name. Update the bibliography field to reflect the edit you made to the Elwood source. Okay, I don't see I'm going to just close that. So if I look down here, it's got Amy, it doesn't have Alicia. I'm going to try right-clicking on this bibliography, and I see there's an option to update field. I don't know if it matters where I right-click though. I'm going to try. I'll just right-click down here, and then update field. Perfect, and I see Amy changed out to Alicia. Okay. Now it says, that's actually it, I believe. And then your document should look like the final figure in the following pages. So let me just kind of glance at the picture. There we go. So there's my first page. That looks the same. And if I look down on like other pages, there's my page 2. It's completed, and then I've got that works cited page. All right, I think that is about it. So I'm going to hit save on my Word document to make sure the latest and greatest changes have been saved. And now I'm ready to submit this. So I'm going to head back to my browser, and I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to click to browse, and I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to find, there's my file. It's got that little number 2 at the end. I'll double click it. It uploads, and then I'm going to submit it for grading. And now I'm going to look at my graded summary report, and I'll just go ahead and save it, and then I will open it. And I got 100 out of 100. I can enable editing if I want. But yeah, so if I got a score that was less than 100, then I would look for some individual part on here that I didn't do well, and I would see if I could find out what went wrong, and I would try to fix it. Now, I would fix it on my working document, the one that has the number 2 in the file name. And then after I made the fixes, then I would resubmit it in SAM and see if my grade improved. But here, if you do something wrong, it'll kind of give you some insight. Now, sometimes it's still a little bit vague on what went wrong, so you might have to do a little bit more research to see, but for the most part, this should be pretty satisfactory. Cool. So that's how to complete that SAM project. That was only one part out of assignment 4, but I think the others will be pretty similar. And who knows, maybe in your next writing class, you'll get the occasion to use the built-in works cited features. So thanks for hanging out with me. Take care.